I am thinking that there is potential we could slowly start to build into a second in-season team. We're kind of forced to do this move, realistically, because yeah, I mean, it just makes sense. It just makes sense for us to get him. I did remember actually, obviously, it's an international break. Luckily, Almiron did actually help me. Welcome back to another video on the channel today. We are back with Almiron's army, and you know we have got to go over them MLS results. Also, we need to kind of refine our strategy a little bit more, maybe, you know, focus on certain areas that we are lacking, and of course we'll be trying to build and get stronger for the up and coming game week. So if you guys are enjoying this series, please remember to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Let's get on with our game week. We are back. It is the start of the week. Let's see how the boys got on over the weekend, shall we? So we'll kick things off with the in-season. Obviously this is our more important lineup, the one we care more about. And unfortunately Daniel did pick up a error led to goal. I think a lot of the goalkeepers didn't do too great. Anthony obviously not done the best, and Almiron only scored 36. However, some points of note is Bruno Wilson actually got another 32 AA. He's been doing really good recently, and Berhalter 41 AA. So, you know, the two specials really being special in this episode or over this weekend. And the classic side almost outscored my in-season team, even with a DMP. Now, I haven't read into why Berkey has DMP'd. I'm guessing an injury, hopefully not a long-term one. Obviously, we'll find out as the video goes on. But yeah, Kyle got a clean sheet on his debut. Almiron, as we know, didn't do too well. Arango got another goal. He's started the season off very well. And Tolo got a a clearance off the line here. So yeah, so overall, we got an additional £2 to add to the budget. So we'll add that in now. So we've got £2.72 to work with this week, and what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to update the spreadsheet a little bit, add in the game week 4 and the star of the week and all that good stuff, and we'll be back with the updates. We are back with an updated spreadsheet, and yeah, so we've added in obviously Almiron's worst performance so far this season, which is not ideal. Obviously the roster currently stays the same. We might have to list a few of these boys. We'll see how we get on over the week, and we have added game week 4 into sort of the sticker book, if you like, and yeah, overall looking pretty good. And the only annoying thing is yeah, well, we added the sticker book and it is our first in season, but for some reason Berhalter's just showing him still in his wrapper, which is a bit annoying because obviously all the other boys are unwrapped, but yeah, Berhalter isn't, which is I guess a little bit of a shame, but oh well, it is what it is. Anyway, yeah, so we've obviously got £2.72 to work with. I'm going to really have a little sit down and look at the gallery, I think, and work out what I want to try and move on or where we need to improve in our strategy, and yeah, we'll come back with an update on that. Okay, so after carefully looking at the gallery, I was just sort of, yeah, having a look in here, seeing who wasn't in a lineup. Obviously, we have Vitor Costa, who I could potentially sell, but I would only get about £1 or so for him, and I think Ricketts, the person who is playing currently for him, is not doing that well, so I think I'm actually going to hold off on Vitor Costa, just because, like, although I could sell him now and, you know, use the £1 or so that he would get me to sort of explore our strategy a bit more, I'm actually thinking he might come back in favour shortly, so and then we can use him, obviously, so I'm just going to hold on to him for a bit. I feel like, obviously, we paid quite a lot for him in this series, and he has dropped off, which we definitely expect in defenders and midfielders in season. Escobar did actually play last game, which is fantastic news for our classic side, and Sivichenko, as expected, did not play. However, I am thinking, now that obviously this side has finished, I guess, well, they've obviously finished and not earned me any rewards, I might as well start chucking a few of these potentially up to sale, and the man I'm thinking of is potentially Arango. Now, the reason I like the idea of listing Arango is purely based on the fact that, obviously, as you can see, we do have 2 in-season forwards, and like I have been saying, I'm trying to lean like in-season as much as possible. And I am thinking that there is potential we could slowly start to build into a second in-season team. Especially if we sell Arango, I'm thinking because obviously the prices are coming down now. So yeah, I'm thinking we chuck Arango up for sale. Um, Now I do think he is a good player. Just it's purely based on the fact he is classic. So we're going to list one up for £3.60. And obviously we did buy him for £3.80, but he's earned us a couple of quid in the series, so it was definitely worth the purchase. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and cancel this lineup because we're in Division 3. Let me just double check. Oh, sorry, wrong place. But yeah, pretty sure we're all good there to cancel it because it's in Division 3. We're not winning anything from it, so that's okay. We'll just get rid of that. Get it up. And then the other people that are in that squad is Berkey, who I'm yet to find out news on, so I'm going to hold on to him for a bit. Hopefully he's okay. And then we've got Kyle, who obviously we are not going to sell because we just got him. Almiron, who obviously we're going to keep. And then yeah, who was the other player we had in that squad? I can't actually remember now. Let me have a look. Almiron's army, game week. Tolo. So I mean, I doubt he's classic. So I really doubt he's moved in price, to be honest. Probably gone down if anything. He has not started the season off too hot. So yeah. So still 45p. That's fine. We'll probably keep Tolo. To be honest, I think he's decent, so I don't mind that. So yeah, have a look at the squad then. So we're pretty much gonna hopefully we get a sale off on Orango. And then I'm thinking with so then we would have about £5, give or take. About £5, maybe £6. And then obviously we would have, so we have two classic goalkeepers as we know. And then we would probably need, and then we can use Almiron. Might have to buy another in-season Almiron. Obviously we can do that for this series. You can have as many marquee players as you want. But yeah, so we have a Daniel. Maybe we would have to buy another in-season defender. Then we would have Almiron in-season, of course. And then Shapi and Berhauser. So we would need, I think, one more. So we would need an in-season midfielder and an in-season defender to be able to list another in-season team, which we can definitely get for £5, I believe. So yeah, that is pretty much what we're going to be working towards now. Hopefully we can get there. Okay, so back with an update from Almiron's army, and unfortunately Roman Berkey looks to be out for a couple of months. So I'm thinking let's go ahead and buy the backup goalkeeper now. Obviously we have £2.72 in the bank, and we're kind of forced to do this move realistically because yeah, I mean it just makes sense. It just makes sense for us to get him. No, not mess around too much. We did just pay one. Oh, it says 209. We definitely didn't. We just paid like £1.90 for him. 209. Why does it say that? I don't get why it says that 209. I clearly just paid like £1 something for him. So I'm gonna put that on the spreadsheet. I mean, I don't know why it does that, but yeah, £1.97. That is what we're gonna have on the spreadsheet here. So let's take away £1.97. There we go. So we have 75p left. Obviously, previously when I left you guys off in the early week, obviously this is coming to the end of the week now, but I was talking about potentially selling to buy another in-season team, but literally, as you can still see, nothing sold. I did list Berkey just because I was thinking, let's get out of him whilst before perhaps he drops drastically, but it looks like we're better off just keeping him, to be honest, and then we can just rotate between the two keepers that we have in the series. Yeah, I think it just I guess makes sense just to keep him for now because his price is only going to go down anyway, so we don't want to sell for too ridiculously cheap anyway. So yeah, I thought it just makes sense. Let's just buy the backup goalkeeper, and not mess around with it too much. Arango, I think we'll probably cancel the listing just because we're probably better. He's better off to us in this series being used because obviously you can get decisives. So yeah, pretty much that is what I'm thinking. Now we have to build the lineups before we're fast approaching the weekend, so we do need to build the lineups together. and see where we're at. If you're watching this video now and you're thinking about signing up to Sorare, do not forget to use my link in the description down below. It does really help out a small creator like myself, and if you do use that link, you will even win yourself a free limited card. So just as I went to build the lineups for you boys, I did remember actually, obviously it's an international break. When you guys are seeing this, or when this video is released, obviously, you know, will still be in the international break actually. But with that being said, obviously Almiron does play for his country, so it leaves us in a bit of a weird spot with this series because, like we've said previously, Almiron needs to be sort of in every squad, but he can't if he's on international break. So you can see I've used him obviously, as he's in my gallery, just in sort of this throwaway lineup. I haven't actually used this classic card. Oh yeah, I do. Sorry, I have used this classic card. Yeah, I don't really know if if we did even get rewards from this. Should we reward ourselves? Because it literally is Almiron's army. I don't know if I am going to get rewards. Obviously, next time I come to recording, I'll probably find out. But yeah, with that being said, also it does make my it does mean that building my squads is gonna have to wait really, because obviously a lot of people have international utility, so I am gonna have to wait for Predictify to predict all of them, so I can see where everything lands with obviously international coming up. We can actually check San Jose because we do have a few of them. So Arango for the series looks like he will be playing, so that's a good one. Lucky we cancelled that, I guess. And then Daniel and Bruno, obviously that's going to be pretty ideal. Acosta is only 30%, which is not the best. And then I don't think we have any other. Oh yeah, Portland Timbers. Anthony is playing, which is good. And yeah, the only other thing I did want to say that actually does remind me. So what I'm going to do is, so that is obviously where we're leaving things off there at the moment. Now I did actually check, and very surprisingly, Anthony is ridiculously expensive right now. And again, for this sort of profit, it makes me think, for this series, do we want to take that profit for someone that obviously is decent, don't get me wrong, but like that sort of profit in a series like this could be massive. So what I'm going to do is I am going to list him, but obviously I'm not, don't expect him to sell for that much, but I am going to list him anyway, just on the off chance that he might sell at a ridiculous price there. Obviously that's pretty much double what we paid for him. For some reason it won't let me click into Almiron's army. Come on, sorry, you can do it. Nice. Yeah, so I am going to list him just because, why not? If we get the money, great. Obviously we'll work that into the strategy. But yeah, I think Arango. Yeah, I think what we'll do it actually is we'll list the boys between now and when we build lineups, and then obviously when we come to build lineups we'll cancel the listing. But just on the off chance we do get a sell and could work it into a couple more players rather than one or two, if that makes sense. Obviously Anthony is good, but for £12 we can get 2 or 3 players for the series rather than just him, if that makes sense. And don't get me wrong, I definitely need forwards and in seasons, but yeah, at that price we can work around it, you know what I mean? So yeah, we're gonna go with that for now, and we'll see how things sort of plan out. And yeah, I guess we've got to wait for Predictify now to build them lineups. Okay guys, we are back to build the lineups for the weekend, and I will say I am gonna add a little bit to the end of this episode as well, which will be interesting, so stay tuned. But yeah, just to fill in the lineups quickly, again, this shouldn't take too long because Almiron's not playing, so it really limits our options. Daniel obviously has to go in goal for us, really. Bruno Wilson, non-negotiable, really. Berhalter's our only midfielder, really, that's starting in the series. And then Anthony and yeah, our choice is between Shappy and Vitor Costa, and obviously Vitor Costa's not likely to play, so we have to go Shappy. The only decision we have, because again, Berhalter has to be captain, the only decision to be made here is, obviously this lineup is in Division 1 currently, but I feel bad if, obviously it's not the best fixtures in the world, but I feel bad if we get relegated from Division 1 without using Almiron in his own series. So with that being said, I'm probably going to enter this into Division 3, just because it's terrible matchups, and Almiron's not included, so it'd be a shame to be relegated without him. So yeah, we're going to put this on Division 3. And then the classic team, I'll be honest, barely even fields, so we'll be lucky to get anything. We got Ben, obviously, from this episode. We got Kyle. We've got Arango, and we have got Escobar. Now, we don't have a midfielder, because I don't really want to go out and waste another 40p on someone that probably won't even score that well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put any old player in here that just like as a stop holder or someone just so I can submit the side. So we'll just put in like someone like this, for example, just so the side can play, because there's no point in me going out and buying someone that is just going to be a waste of money on the series. So yeah, we'll just put out this team again. You know, we're just hoping for a decisive so we can get a pound back pretty much from this one. But yeah, that is the two lineups that we're going to go into this weekend with. Obviously, international break is hitting us pretty hard, but with that being said, I am going to add something to this episode. So, because as we know, Almiron is playing internationally, I don't think that. Well, personally, let me know in the comments what you think to this, but I don't think that should hinder our series that Almiron is playing for his national team. That should be seen as a good thing, you know what I mean? So with that being said, obviously I've shown you guys that Almiron is submitted into, you know, these lineups, which I have shown you boys. And obviously he makes up 20% of the team, right? So with that being said, I think that it makes complete sense for us to take 20% of the reward should we get it, right? So obviously, don't get me wrong, you know, he could there could be no reward. He could, like, you know what I mean, he could we could not win anything, which then is fine. You know, void, null, void, whatever you want to call it. But should this team somehow, you know, yield any reward, I think that we should include that in this episode, and but just take 20% of it, because that was what Almiron would have earned, and also gives me a bit more of a incentive or a reason to be happy that Almiron is playing for his national team. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to see it as like oh, that's a shame, we've got some rubbish lineups this weekend because Almiron's not playing. I want to see it more as like oh, you know, we still have something to play for. I was even tempted in my head to be like making it a bit special for international breaks. Maybe we could do it next time or next international break. Let me know if you guys want to see like something. Maybe we add like another rule or stipulation for those that play internationally, like a bit more of an incentive for the series, or a bit more like a almost like a reward for them doing so. Because obviously it is quite a good thing. Maybe we could add like a little secret rule, or you know, school for their international team, they get something or something like that. I think that'd be quite a cool idea to add, and it just brings another sort of element to the international break. So yeah, next time, or I guess the next time we record now will be pretty much Friday, where we will know the results of the squads, and also I'll be 100% confirming the lineups and plugging them in with you boys. Let's get to Friday. Our channel has finally become a partner with YouTube, and that means that you boys can become a member on the channel. How you would do that is by clicking the join button down below, and you can see all the exclusive perks to becoming a member on this channel. Not only that, but you would be massively helping and supporting a small creator in myself, making more videos like this one for you guys to enjoy. So I would really appreciate if you did join our membership down below. Thank you. Let's get on with the video. Okay, so it is Friday, just before the weekend and deadline hits, and luckily Almiron did actually help me reach my target, which was 370, and we got 50 essence, which is fantastic. Obviously, previously in the episode, we did discuss about potentially giving Almiron a cut of the 50 essence. Again, I'm going to leave this one down to the comment section. If you boys think I deserve a reward for this, obviously Almiron being on the team, then let me know, because I don't feel like we should be punishing I guess our marquee player for playing for his national team, and I might add, playing pretty well for his national team. But yeah, so I will have to add. I'll probably add that score to the spreadsheet if we want to include that stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna let it down to you guys to decide that one. But yeah, I'm just happy I got 50 essence. So I'll take it. And then moving on, let's build our team for the weekend then. So, as we discussed previously in the episode, I think it's best for us to go into Division 3, as our fixtures are just terrible, and also Almiron's not playing, so feel bad to relegate if he's not on the team. I'm going to go with Daniel in net. I have been checking Predictify and stuff like that. All of the teams have been sort of announced now, so Bruno Wilson is 90% as well, so he's definitely nailed to go in there. Berhalter, I believe, is 90% as well, which we can check. Yep, 90%, lovely stuff. And then we've got a choice with, our only really ones that make sense is Anthony and Shappy, I believe. But we'll check they're both definitely on to be playing. So Anthony's almost certain, and Shappy's 80%, so a little bit less. But I don't believe we actually have another choice really. Yeah, from my memory, because obviously Almiron's not playing. Vitor Costa is let's have a look. Vitor Costa is 30%, so you know you'd rather have someone at 80 than 30. So yeah, gonna go with that. Captain Berhalter, as the fixture is very good for him, so you hope that he does well for us. And then yeah, classic is just the remaining pieces that we have. So Ben, who we did bring in this video, and we'll just double check. Yeah, he's 90%. Now this is the only annoying thing. Kyle is only 65%. So we're going to leave that position for a second, and then we're going to go to midfield, where we actually don't have a midfielder, as we discussed previously. I guess sort of in this video. So we'll put Almiron in here just for XP. Yeah, just get him XP. Obviously, he's not going to play. But yeah, I guess we just need to put a team in, to be honest. And then we've got a Rango who's going to play, so we'll probably captain him. Feels like a bit of a waste putting his team out with Almiron with DMP in, but for this series, obviously, we are just trying to get decisive so we get some more money in the bank. Escobar at 80% is pretty much yeah, certain. And then I guess our choice is between Sivichenko, who's on 30%, Kyle, who's on 65%, Tolo, who plays for International, so we can't use him. So, or Vitor Costa, who's on 30%. So, with that being said, we kind of have to choose Kyle, and we'll probably captain a Rango, even though, like I said, shouldn't really matter, to be honest. Bad fixtures all round. Players might not be playing, so yeah, classic. We're definitely not expecting much, especially with a guaranteed DMP in there with Almiron. And yeah, in terms of like the other pieces that we have, perhaps we can do this warm up. We could do with Vitor Costa, who is another player in the gallery that I guess we can get some sort of utility out of if he does come off the bench. Then obviously we might be able to yield something in this warm-up. But you guys know you do have to sort of go a bit different with these warm-ups. I think Kalina, I guess, doesn't work with Vitor Costa, so let's go ahead and pick someone that might make a bit more sense. Even though I think, yeah, I think that's a decent fixture for Kalina, of course, with against San Jose, who are good, but Charlotte are just, you know, maybe a level above. Who knows? We'll find out. Then we have Pasalic is a good one actually. Let's go for. I'm thinking maybe Pasalic, and I'm thinking. Is that how you spell his name? Yeah, let's put Chebeko in there, and then attacker. Let's go with, we could put Nelson, could put Peter Musa, Gabriel Peck is decent as well, to be fair. Drea, Zaha, let's go with Zaha. Oh no, I guess Zaha's playing against Vitor Costa, so we can't really do that. Or we could, and then just pray that Zaha scores before, yeah, I guess before Thingy gets subbed on, which could happen, to be fair. Let's go for that. Let's go for that. I like Zaha this week, so yeah, that's going to be our classic. classic, sorry. That's going to be our warm-up, should we say. And yeah, so pretty much what we've got going on is, when we scroll to it, oh, yeah. So pretty much in the comments, I want you to let me know, should I receive any essence or bonus for Almiron doing well here? Obviously, he is taken away from my game week 64, so I think I should be allowed, but I'm happy to go with the majority vote here. Our first team is obviously not great fixtures, but hopefully all of them play and get some decisives and help us with the budget. And then our classic team is pretty terrible. Well, yeah, not great. It's really not great at all, with a guaranteed DMP in there. And then we have a little warm-up side as well. So hopefully we do well over the weekend. So unfortunately, that is all we have time for in Almiron's army this week. I will say, boys, I have sort of mentioned on Twitter and maybe in live streams and things like that this week has been like mega super busy for me. So unfortunately, YouTube and Sorare and things like that, you know, it happens in life sometimes. You know, people are busy. Obviously, I'm still producing the same amount of content, which is a positive thing for the channel because it shows even when I'm super mega super busy that I can still produce these videos for you boys. But I will say that, you know, I hope that the quality or whatever hasn't lacked too much in the video because, like I said, I only had a limited amount of time to record this week, hence like the lack of live streams and stuff like that. So yeah, generally speaking, I do apologise, but obviously you guys, you know how life is. You know, we're all adults and things like that. We know, you know, things can be busy. So with that being said, I do sort of want to say, you know, for those of you boys that might be watching this, you know, and you're maybe studying or you're working and things like that, then you know, don't let Sorare get too much in the way of that. You know, you do need to focus on life and you know, it's important to get the priorities straight. Although, you know, for me, obviously, I do really absolutely love making YouTube videos and playing Sorare. Sometimes, you know, life does take its toll or take its priorities and things like that. So yeah, I hope it doesn't come across in the video too bad as if like I've been like trying to rush it or anything, because I definitely have been trying to put as much time as I can into it, but just sort of a sorry not sorry kind of thing, like a life, you know, that is life type message I wanted to get across, if that makes sense. I don't know, but anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy nonetheless, and of course next week we should be back to normal, loads of live streams and all that stuff. I should have a lot more time on my hands, so hopefully that is the case. With that being said, guys, I do really appreciate the likes, genuinely, like, it helps this channel just push through the algorithm and stuff, and like, obviously I put my heart and soul into this channel and making these videos, so just, you know, leaving a like, obviously subscribing if you're new, just helps me massively. So yeah, I do appreciate it if you could do that, and we'll catch you guys in a future video. Peace.